What's up, guys? I'm going to try to help you with the ACT today, just by giving my tips and what I did when I studied. So the ACT, I feel, is easier than the SAT. This is compensated by them giving you less time. They give you less time to do the work, but it is easier. So I would recommend the ACT to people that are very fast test takers. And if not, you can still do very well, because I'm not a fast test taker, but I got a 31. And just an overall tip, take the ACT with writing. You don't want to, most colleges require the writing, so you might as well just take it. And the writing is just a simple essay, so it's not that difficult. So the first ACT I took, I started at a 24 and then went all the way to a 31. So that helped me a lot because that got me a full ride to my college, which is pretty good for me. Okay, let's just jump straight in. And the hardest section I had was science and math. So I'll start with science. Okay, so science timing is everything. And this is the one thing you should take away from this. Most important thing. So if you have one passage, you have 6 questions, what you do is you subtract by 1, and that gets you 5 minutes. So if you have 6 questions in a passage, just take 5 minutes. If you have 5 questions, take 4 minutes, and so forth. So this will help you get to every single question and help you at least see each question, because most people have the error of taking far too long on a small amount of questions and then running out of time. So just follow this strategy and you should be able to get to every single question. And this will probably increase your ACT score, because I know it did for me, because it went from a 28 to a 31, or 33 actually, just using this one little strategy. So this strategy helped me a lot. For the rest, just take notes. The science section is all about, can you analyze scientific material in a short amount of time. So for graphs, take notes on the different variables, because that's what they always test you on. For the scientists debating, take notes on similarities and differences, because that's also what they quiz you on those. Just take notes by each side. That will help you tremendously, because you don't want to waste time rereading the same things over and over again. So just quickly just take a few notes on what's different about, if there's 3 graphs, take notes on what's different about each 3. And for the science debating, just do a Venn diagram of what they have different, what they have similar. Okay, so I'll move on. Okay, so English. This is basic, but just study the grammar rules, and just what sounds right is usually right. Just sound it out in your head, and that's usually right, because I did that and I got a 34. The English for me was really easy. You can go over the grammar rules, especially for commas and semicolons. Those usually tend to pop up a lot. So just do that, because that helped me, and I did really well in the English. So just by just sounding it out, and what I learned the most is that the ACT likes to see the most concise answer. So the shortest answer is usually correct, because they don't like to see overcomplicated answers. And if the question has omit in it, you should carefully look at it, because omit is usually right, what I found. I mean, it's not always right, but it's usually right. Just carefully look at it and just see does that sentence require that phrase. If it doesn't, omit it. Okay? Math was my second hardest section, because I'm not naturally good at math, but 1 through 40, I mean, as long as you pay attention in class, you should be able to do 1 through 40 pretty easily. Then from 40 to 60, it gets harder. And for those, just for the practice exams, see which section you have trouble with. That's what I did. And I actually have my notes with me from the math section. And all I did was I would take a section and then see all the things that I missed. Once I found each question, I would look at what concept it was. And then when I like, these are my ACT notes. I'll like, you can pause the video and if these help you, just, yeah, you can use them. But yeah, just, you can pause the video right there if you need to, and just look at my notes if you need them. And yeah, this is what I did. Like, I just, every question I got wrong, I would, like, logarithms I did not like, but I reviewed them, and just for questions that I saw, like, once I saw them on the next test, they're easier. Memorize these. You need these a lot. Distance and midpoint. There's always at least 1 or 2 questions that have those formulas. And these, yeah, like logarithms, permutations, like together problems, like if they work together, how long would they take? I never knew how to do those, but I found the equation, which is right there. And then I understood it. Combination, permutation. These are all the ones that I always had trouble with. But once I like looked at the concept, just simply reviewed it. I usually, like, I learned enough to get by. So just go take practice exams, look at what you got wrong, go to the concept, review it. I mean, it's very basic stuff, but like sometimes you just have to do that to do well. Okay, so those were my math notes, the stuff that I had trouble with, and I still got a 27, which was my lowest section score, and that's the best I could do. Like, I can't. That was and that can be like another section for you. Like, sometimes you can only do so good, and that's just who you are. But just try to get as high scores on the others as you can, and that will be your score. And finally, reading. Reading, like, my suggestion is, first of all, just to read a lot of stuff, like newspapers, books. Read a lot, and reading a lot will help you naturally get faster at reading, which is a really good skill for this section, because you need to be able to read very fast and understand it in a short amount of time. What I've found is that don't really skim, because skimming usually wastes time. When you skim a section, you don't really understand it, and you go to the question, go back, and then that's just like a waste of time. Like, because you won't understand the first time. So just read the passage slowly. Just read it, truly understand it, annotate it, and then the questions will, for the most part, take you a shorter amount of time, because you truly understand the passage. Because if you just rush through it, you're not going to understand it, and you're going to waste time, like, continuously rereading the section. So, my overall tips for you, just for the ACT, is take a lot of practice exams. I've taken at least 10. Just because I'm not actually like that smart or anything, but just by brute force I got a 31. Like, not being a good test taker or anything. Because I had my test on Saturday, and what I did is, for starting on Monday, I took an exam every day, every morning, and just for the endurance. Like, you have to understand the ACT. Once you get to the science, you're worn out. It's so hard for you to focus. You just want it to get over with, and that's why science is usually the lowest scoring section. So, and it's also like hard in its own right. So you need to have the endurance to take the entire exam. So I took it every day, like the same time I would take the real one at 9, and I would take it every day. And by the time I got to the real exam, it was second nature for me. Like I wouldn't say easy, but it was I was comfortable taking 3-hour exams. And so I could still have focus, strong focus, until the end of the exam. So take a lot of practice exams. I recommend the real ACT book from the ACT themselves, like ACT people themselves, because that gives you the truest version. The other ones, like, they try, but you want you don't want it to be too hard, and you don't want it to be too easy, because that might mess you up on the real one. So you just take the real past exams, and that should help you get familiar with the ACT, because the ACT is not meant, it was supposed to be designed to not be able to be studied for. But if you study it long enough, you truly understand it. You understand how the ACT works. Like for English, you understand what they look for, what answer they want, the most concise one. So just take it. When I took my final ACT exam, it was second nature to me. Because I've taken it so many times. And yeah, so just take a lot of exams. I recommend you to take it 2 to 3 times, like the real one, because even though it costs $50 per each one, it is worth it. Because if you get a 32 or just in the 30s, you might get a scholarship from your college, and then having a $5,000, just a $5,000 scholarship would be worth your investment, is you just made profit out of it. For me, I took it 3 times, which is $150, but I got $50,000 out of it from this scholarship. So it's worth it to take it many times. And the ACT differs in difficulty, because the very first one I took, I got a 27, and I felt the science section was incredibly difficult. But the later exams seem to be they seem to be easier. So I highly recommend you take it 2 to 3 times, and because that'll help you you might get lucky and have an easier ACT exam, and then it's worth it, because if you get that high score, you can go to the college that you want, or get a scholarship. So it's very worth it to take it multiple times, take lots of practice, and those are my tips for you. The biggest strategy I have for you was the science one, was the timing, because that really helps you. That really helped me get from 24 to a 33. So this one strategy helped me a lot. So I wish you guys the best. I hope you guys get the ACT score that you want, and good luck.